Hey everybody, it's Thursday. You know what that means? This guy is back, Rod Dogg.
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
We've had a great week so far. It's been pretty busy around here.
Yeah. Got our new launch out and everybody wants one.
Well, I wanted to say Happy Veterans Day. It's a little late. Yeah. It's a little late. You got your Army hat on. It's great to see.
Tribute to everybody out there.
Well, thank you for your service, brother.
Thank you, too.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for everybody out there watching as well, all the veterans and families of veterans. Thank you for your service.
Our fallen.
Yep, absolutely. You cannot forget about that. We've got everybody coming in here on Facebook. We've got everybody on Instagram. Sorry about that. We meant to, if you didn't get it, we meant to send out an alert text after that, or right before this, but fortunately, we pretty much ran straight in here to get this done. So we wanted to make sure we brought Rod to you. So we will make sure we get a text out to you next time when we go live. So make sure you get your questions in. So we're going to take tech questions. We'll take questions about the new bows. We just launched 2 new bows, didn't we, Rod?
They're really good ones.
Really good ones. Yeah. And I was excited to get them out. I know we have a lot of people. We've done a lot of polling, and right now it's hard to, a lot of people are tossed up between the 2. I am personally. I know you've got a favorite out of the 2.
I got a favorite out of the 2 already, but
what's your favorite?
The SS is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet shooter.
Sweet shooter. We were talking about before we came on the air. It's actually super smooth, but it's where we said it self-selling. I mean,
self-selling.
Yeah, you shoot that bow, you're going to walk out with it. So it is definitely a sweet shooter. That's
Go
the
to
great
your pro shop and try one out.
That's a good point.
You're going to want one.
Those of you that watched us on our live launch, or those of you that are kind of just joining us now, learning about the bows, your dealers have them in there. We shipped out sample bows of each to all of our dealer base out there. A lot of the dealers are reordering them now as well, and which is great.
Which they should.
Which they should. I mean, they're ordering stock up. There's your daughter right there. Hey. She's in. Hey, Carrie, we're just talking about you.
Who's first?
Yeah, who's first? I don't think she made it first. It's pretty close. Pretty close to who we've, looks like she might be second, third. Looks like we have the crew in here, our normal crew, Michael Lepresti, Jeremiah Thompson, Keith Hamilton. So we've got our crew in there. So make sure you get your questions in on both Facebook and Instagram. I'm watching those both. Rod, let's talk about a little about what you've had going on. I know you've been, we've got some bows coming in here or there. You've been working on some stuff, and what's anything odd you've seen lately coming in?
No, it's usually the standard stuff. I did have a limb issue on one bow just a little bit ago, so I had to have them call and tell them, like, we can fix your limbs. Mm-hmm. We got good limbs now. Mm-hmm. Well, fix the limbs.
Good point, because I know we're going to get a question today about our limbs. So
they're good, but I can't do anything with the string and cable in the shape it's in.
Pretty shot.
It was ready to break.
I mean, that's not under warranty, right?
No, it was ready to go.
Well, that's good. I mean, at least they're shooting it. That's a good point. Well, that's a good point. Rod brought up, I'm going to head it off at the pass right now, so I know we get questions about limbs and what we've done there, and we've actually brought the limb process fully into our facility now, from the design stage all the way to the manufacturing stage to the final finish stage. It's totally controlled by us here at Bowtech, which is great because
seems to be working.
It does. Yeah, I haven't seen any issues. I've seen some bows bashed on a few things and chips taken care out of, but
you hit it on something and it's liable to.
It's going to happen.
Liable to splinter.
Yep. But so it's been great. So I wanted to make sure we talked about that, because every single time I get that question, so I want to hit it out of the gate as well. So let's take a look here. So let's talk about the new bows, Rod. Those of you that didn't join us at the live launch, we talked about why we do what we do here at Bowtech, and it's about feedback from consumers like you. We did a lot of extensive polling. I don't know if you, Rod, if you know this at this point, but we are over 100,000 people that we've talked to about what they want in a bow.
Right.
I know at one point we were at 50,000. It has grown to over 100,000 people. So I thank you, all those of you that have participated in our polls, in our sweepstakes, because those of you may think those are just questions to enter. We look at those questions. We look at what bow you shoot. We look at what's your favorite attribute in a bow. that helps us produce these. So and that's where the Realm series came into play, the most accurate bow series out there than these two new bows.
Exactly. So. Accuracy, consistency.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that accuracy and consistency. Rod, where do these bows get that accuracy and the consistency from?
It's pretty much all one piece when you look at it. I mean, the pocket, everything's all one solid piece. It's I just don't see how it can be beat. and you set your center shot and you adjust your string over with your bus cables. It's the most tunable bows out there.
Well, let's talk about that, because with the overdrive binary cam system, we are the only cam system out there that allows you to quickly and easily move that string. What's that really doing? You know, because I know a lot of people say, I can move my arrow rest to tune a bow.
Yeah, well, you can do that, but you're losing your center shot now, and the grip in your hand changes things, the way you torque your riser, everything else, so you can move your string back in line to where it needs to be to shoot perfect arrows. So.
And a good analogy, our director of marketing. So our director of marketing is out in Colorado right now.
Yeah, he's hunting with one of these bows.
He is. He actually went live right before this from Colorado with Nate Zielinski, one of our ambassadors. So if you guys are watching, good luck to you. But a good analogy Jeff uses is a rifle. You know, when you're sighting in a rifle, if you're hitting left or right, you don't bend your barrel. You adjust the back end, you adjust your sight on the back to get everything in a line, and that's really similar to what you're doing here. Same thing with alignment. You know, you don't, on a car, you don't crank your steering wheel when you're going down the road. You get everything aligned front and back. So, and that's one thing where the overdrive binary cam system, I know you love it. You finally switched over. Well, you're shooting a destroyer, and it had the overdrive binary cam system.
Yeah, I've been with it a while, but it just keeps getting a little bit better every time. Every year, a little bit better.
I know we're talking about the SS a little bit, and on our we had a lot of our key influencers, all of our experts, industry experts we call them, all of the editors and writers, and Jace Bowserman, shout out to Jace if you're watching. He did a review. John Silks did a review as well. But Jace, I talked to him, and he said basically this is the best bow, especially in the SS. He's going to have his SR6 review coming out, but he honestly feels the SS is the best bow Bowtech has ever made. Which
I'm inclined to go with that myself, except for I've still only shot 3 arrows.
3 arrows out of one.
So, you know.
You know, he chased me about a Realm X last year, and now he's wanting to go to the SS.
I might have to trade it in.
I don't blame you. I don't think I blame you. I'm playing around with each.
Realm X is pretty good, but this thing here I shot, the first time I shot it, it's out here in the pro shop, and I pulled that thing back and had to turn around and ask if it was a 40-pound bow.
Yeah.
Well, I swore it was a 40-pound bow.
And that's what we're getting the feedback from, especially in the testing from the editors, is they're seeing that same thing.
It's so smooth and easy to pull, and it was a 60-pound bow. It's like, oh man.
I'm traditionally not a 70-pound bow guy. I mean, I shot my elk this year with a 60-pound Realm clean pass-through. I think we talked about it in the last event. I actually went up on the one I'm shooting. I went to 70 pounds. And put it in the performance setting, and it draws beautifully. 3 of my arrows, I'm shooting 405 grain arrow, and I'm just a tick under 300. I'm shooting at a 297, 298 mark, which with this draw cycle,
that's a 27-inch draw.
27.5-inch draw, yeah. So I don't have a long draw by any means. So I am happy with that speed, especially with the draw cycle I'm getting out of that as well. So
you put a broadhead on, that's just about perfect anyway. So.
Carrie Ann likes your sweater.
Yeah,
Go
me
Trailblazers.
Too. Marcus Leonard.
Myers Leonard, yeah. If you're watching Myers, you're having a phenomenal season. He's a Bowtech shooter as well.
I haven't seen you in here in a while, so you know it's about time you came to try one of these.
We need to get you down. I don't know if that can fit him.
Yeah, probably not.
I think his draw is 34.
We'll put a D-loop on there for you.
I did that. I did that for Chris Kamen on a carbon icon. So, let's see. I know, man. We're getting hammered on that shoot off again. I got to do it. Nolan and I were talking.
It's not really fair now because you already have an SS.
Well, I'll get you one for the shoot off. We'll make it. We got to get it done. We've got to get it done.
Am I pushing for it, Nolan, or what?
Yeah, gotta do it.
All right.
Turkey. Carrie wants to know if the Thanksgiving turkey is going to be one of the ones you shot.
It could be, I suppose. I had some turkey noodle casserole today, so it was really good.
Here's a good question, and I can answer this one as well. Todd Shoemaker, hey guys, notice, great name by the way, Todd. Hey guys, notice that the SR6 roller guide is different material than the current Realm and the Realm X. Is the new guide available for upgrade? It's relatively the same. We lighten it up a little bit for performance as well, but by switching them out, I mean, you get a little more performance out of it, not a ton. Switching from one to the other, you're not going to see.
It's a little lighter.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. It lightens up the bow a little bit. So you're not going to see a ton of improvement there between the two. It's really not worth, at this point, tearing down your bow to switch that out. So I don't recommend doing that. I think you're going to be fine with that. You know Fred Modaf, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
He says, hey, dog.
How you doing, Fred?
Randy Manson, hi, are you guys going, and you may not know about this so much, but hi, are you guys going to release the videos of the testing we did on the new bows? Yes, we will. We've done a lot of extensive testing on that. We did a little bit in our launch video. But we will be releasing that. We're actually working on that now, going through the editing process as far as putting the cool front and back on it, it's the cool graphics on it, but
the colors.
Yep, I don't want to say we edited the center video, that's all legit video, but we got to come out with the cool front and back. I got to put our cool colors and logos in there, so we will have that out there for you guys as well. So let's see. Here's some good. This one's up your alley. Randy Manson. Nope, that's Randy. Just asked that question. Yeah. George Connors. What has Bowtech built for Target? Anything new? This year we don't have a new bow for Target. We do have the Fanatic 3, which is, been one of our best Target bows out there. I was talking to Tim Gillingham the other day. BT Mag.
BT Mag's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
BT Mag X.
Paige Pierce is shooting BT Mag right now. She's tearing it up. She switched over from the Fanatic 3 to the BT Mag towards the end of the year last year, and she's told me she's kicking herself because she didn't switch over a little earlier on that. So
well, the Fanatic's still a good shooting
bow,
though.
It is. I love the Fanatic. Adam Wilkins, Dogg, recommended sights and rests for your bow. Sight and or rest for your bow.
Can I do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would. This is about Dogg. This is all about you right now, Dogg.
As far as I'm concerned, there's really only one arrow rest, and we make a good one here. I mean, we got a good one, but I just have so much faith in that Pro B. It's just so easy to set up.
Right.
It's not pulling on a cable. There's no noise on it at all because there's no slap down on the shelf, nothing. So I like that one for
I'm going to have to agree. That's a pretty darn good one.
And there's really not anything mechanical to go wrong with it.
Right.
It's pretty simple. And then a sight, Montana Black Gold.
Yeah. I've shot Montana Black Gold. Well, before, those of you that don't know, Montana Black Gold is part of the Bowtech family of brands, and I shot Montana Black Gold and Black Gold now well before they were part of the family. It's a bulletproof sight. I love it.
And plus, I'm a blurry vision guy these days, getting kind of old. Sorry, but I went to that single pin. It's just too easy to use. So, yeah.
I think they've got some new stuff they just launched as well. Some new sights that came out. I don't know if you've seen those come out.
Haven't tried it yet.
I think they're just hitting the market, I believe. Let's see, what do we got here? Alan Lilly, hi guys. I've heard a lot of negative things against the Bowtechs from pro shops and other bow hunters in regards to limbs. That's perfect reason why we addressed that at the top of the...
Back on the limb subject.
Yep, I like it. Well, I would, yeah. But last year, Alan bought a Hoyt Hyperforce and wasn't truly happy with it. If you were to compare them to the SS, how would you rate them?
I haven't tried the Hoyt Hyperforce.
I have a little experience with it. I mean, well, one, Hoyt makes a phenomenal bow. I mean, I've definitely, I've got to put that out there. They've been around a long time, and they make it absolute phenomenal bow.
I've never shot one, but I can tell you right now that I've never shot one better than this. And as far as Hoyt goes over our tunability,
yeah, and that's it. That's it. I mean, we have 2 identical cams, top and bottom. They're slaved together, top and bottom. You can move them together to optimize that tune.
you don't have to move your arrow rest.
And that draw cycle, if you're looking specifically at the SS, the draw cycle cannot be beat. It is truly, you know, we're a little biased here too, but based on the feedback we're getting from the industry, the third-party folks, this is the smoothest drawing bow out there right now.
I've gone up there and just listened to people talking when they're shooting it, and it's pretty impressive.
Yep. And I say, you know, that's one thing I always say, it's not just on the draw, it's before, during, and after the shot. I mean,
Quiet,
yeah,
it's smooth, and it stays right in your hand.
Yep, just does not move. So you watch a lot of the video reviews out there for those industry insiders when they shoot the bow. It's rock solid. It doesn't move on the shot. You can see some of our launch videos too as well. You don't see jump in the hand, especially with the SR6 as well. So if you're into a little higher performance, you want the most speed out of a bow you can get. That's where you're looking at the SR6. But the thing with the SR6 is, the SR means speed redefined. We wanted to create an industry-leading bow in that high-performance category. I don't like using that speed bow term because it's got a little negative perception. In that category, but have a draw cycle that just dominates all, and that's where the SR6 comes in. Again, I'm torn because I like it. I was impressed how rock solid that SR6 holds. I'm at the good draw length because where that string comes off the cam, it's perfectly flat there, and it just does not wobble in my hand at all. I don't know, Doc. I don't know. I'm torn on it as well. So, here's a good question: some tree stand shooting, Rod. I don't know how much you do some tree stand shooting.
I don't like climbing in a tree. I got ground blinds.
Right.
Plan on getting in one Saturday morning.
Timothy Walsh I need help. When shooting my carbon cure at ground level, I'm dead on, but shooting out of a tree stand, I'm low and to the right. Is this an anchor point issue? I have a couple things potentially going on there. So.
You're probably not leveling your bubble up out of your tree stand. I don't know if you have.
Got to take care of that third axis. You know.
Got to use your third axis up and downhill.
But tell us what the third axis is, Rod. Some people may not know what that is.
It sets your riser to your sight at a straight angle.
Right.
So.
Well, let's talk about that. So let's say pretty much every site out there has a level now. So let's say this iPad is your bubble level. So you can level it up this way to your bow, which is great. That's going to help you at static. But what Rod is saying, as you tilt it down, now you're changing the level this way.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very imperative that you, like say this is your sight housing, you're setting that sight housing level when you look down too. And most sites, I know the black gold sites have it, that you can set that third axis so it's square.
Squared up.
And what's basically, we lost that.
If anything, out of a tree stand, you should be hitting higher.
Yeah, the distance, because you're not, and it's one thing you do have to take off, you do have to shave some yards because of the angle.
Right. That goes for uphill also.
But it could be with that angle down, if they're canning the bow, that could give them the low too, because it's kind of a pivot, especially if they're low. It's a good point, Fred Modaf. Somebody was at the gentleman, or Alan, I think, asked about the target bow. Fred Modaf made a good point. Anything that shoots an arrow can be a target bow. It's a good point. It's a good point, Fred.
Well, there's 3D targets and there's spot targets. And
I
mean, what kind of target are you looking at?
Well, like the Realm X.
The wife.
Yeah, I don't. Can you edit that out? No, you're in trouble now. Hopefully, Carrie Ann doesn't sell you out on that one.
I'm sure she will.
I've got some Instagram stuff coming in here as well. Let's take a look and see what we have. Scroll down. Pro staff favorite. What's the pro staff favorite on the bows? Well, these are just getting out there. So some of the pro staff are just now getting these. Realm X. I just started to talk about that. I think that's really been one of the favorites last year. I was kind of surprised. I handled the coordination with our pro staff, and I saw a lot of the orders coming in for the Realm X as opposed to BT Mag or a Fanatic 3, and I reached out to them. I'm like, why are you guys ordering these hunting bows? They're like, I'm shooting this for 3D because of the stability, and that's why the Realm X, you know, the extended range because of that stability. It's a great 3D rig.
That was my favorite last year.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And it's a great rig there. Come on, we got some great ones. Let's see what's up. Somebody just got a Destroyer 350 and it's a sick bow. Very impressive.
Yeah.
You're saying you're shooting yours just the other day.
Yeah, day before yesterday. Still shooting it.
Excellent.
Got to keep them going.
Let's see. Scrolling down. Got some orders in the SR6. Sir Adam of Levi just ordered an SR6. I cannot wait till it gets here. Great job getting that ordered. I know we're shipping them really well, so it should get it here pretty quick, I would say.
They're building a bunch of them out there so far, so they're doing good.
Linford Bear is asking you, what do you think of the Insanity CPXL?
I just got done working on one in my room, and people still shoot them, and it's still a good bow. So.
Yeah.
It's longer axle to axle. Everybody loved that bow too.
Oh, I know. It's a great one, and that's the Insanity and the Insanity CPXL in the center pivot design bow of ours. It's been one of the most popular rigs. Yeah. It's really the grandfather to these just because of that as well. So. Let's see. Man, we got a lot of good ones. Best rest for the Realm SS. I think we talked about that a little bit. Your personal favorite. Wow.
It really doesn't matter what bow that goes on either. It's a SS, Fanatics, Hoyts, whatever.
Here's a good one. Megan Today, I think it's how you say your Instagram handle there. For someone brand new at bow hunting, which bow do you recommend? Good question. We get that a lot.
Bow hunting?
Bow hunting, yes.
Okay.
Looks like bow hunting.
Well, if you're brand new at bow hunting, you don't want to go out and spend top dollar for the best equipment that you're ever going to buy in your lifetime. So I recommend stuff like Infinite Edge Pro.
Yeah, on our diamond side. That's,
yeah, SB1s.
Yep.
SB1's probably a really good one to start
yeah,
with.
just because of the draw length range and,
and
the
the poundage,
adjustability.
you know, it goes from 7 to 70
pounds. Yep.
And
that's on our diamond line. That's a phenomenal line. On the Bowtech side, we have the Fuel. And if you're looking at getting the high-end SS, I would highly recommend the SS.
Yeah, it's good for hunting and 3Ds, and I'm guessing it shoots spots just fine too.
And the draw is phenomenal. Anything really in the Realm series is phenomenal, and because of the benefits it gives you. First, the accuracy, but the secondary benefits really is why I recommend that, because if you want the highest performance, you got the SR6. If you want something super versatile, ground blind, tree stand hunting, spot and stalk, you have the Realm. If you want something a little longer, a little more stable, you've got the X. And then if you have just the smoothest bow ever. You've got the SS. I mean, so that's really, if you're new to bow hunting, I would definitely say look at the Realm series. It's definitely worth, you know, if you want to make the expenditure. This is a bow that will last you forever, and you know you will not be let down.
Yeah, you need to grab all 4 of them.
Yes.
Take them out and shoot them one at a time and see which one impresses you.
Right. Let's see. Realm X. You talked about limb-driven rest or string-driven rest, and why. So that's a good question. So Siebert Cameron is asking, limb-driven or string-driven rest, and why? I think we talked about that a little bit, but let's talk about...
I'm partial to the limb-driven rests because when you tie into one cable and you draw that bow several times and shoot that bow 2,000 times, you've pulled your cable on one cable. Every time you're pulling it, you're pulling it on that cable. So now you're stretched on one cable and not the other. So
I think that's one thing you, and correct me if I'm wrong, I know when I was working with you back there, we saw a lot of string driven, and it's not a fault of necessarily of the rest, but there's not a lot of margin of error. I see a lot of people set them up incorrectly.
Yes,
it's
if
rope
it's
too short.
Too short, you're asking for trouble.
Right. So. Right. You can you get the cams perfectly timed, perfectly synced, and you set your cord too short.
No, you're out of
sync.
Yeah.
Yep, you're out of again. So, Christy McCormick says hello.
Hey, Christy. Andre said hey, by the way.
Archie Flores, how does the draw cycle compare to on the SS? I'm assuming you mean the SS to the Realm X.
I got the Realm X, and it's a really nice draw cycle, which is why I liked it. But comparable, there's night and day. This feels like it's 20 pounds lighter on the draw than it really is. Because when they told me that one I was shooting was 40 pounds, I'm like, or 60, a 60-pound bow. I said, no, it isn't.
Right.
It's 40. So.
And really, with the SS, we took the Realm X and the Realm Cam, and it's a little rounded it out a little bit for that transition. Where on the SR6, I'm not going to use the term aggressive because I don't like the term aggressive, but it's a little higher energy. A lot of people say it stacks up front a little bit at the beginning. But the nice thing about the softness of the draw, it doesn't have that sharp curve. I mean, it has a nice soft transition, then still generates the speed. The reason we can get that softer draw and generate the speeds we do is because of that weighted cam. And a lot of it has to do with that laboratory testing we talked about a little earlier.
I don't know if anybody can see that.
Oh yeah, good point. You can kind of tilt her around there a little bit.
Yeah, let's turn it that way. There you go. These little weights right here, both ends. Gives a little extra throw.
Yep. And if you notice on the SR6 and the SS, they are in different positions, and that is because of that laboratory testing we did. Our engineers came out with the cams, they put the weights in the cams, and part of that laboratory testing was we were able to fine-tune that position to optimize the performance.
Same thing you do where your speed notch are supposed to be. If you move your speed notch half an inch, you're going to lose speed.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's a lot of people. I mean, if you look, the SR6 has three positions where the SS has 2. We do optimize that through the testing to get the best performance. Dampens the strings as well. All right, Rod. We get this question every time we do a tech talk with you. Chris Rockholt, what do you like to use for arrows and broadheads for hunting deer?
Well, Easton arrows is what I usually use, ACCs, and my broadheads are Koodoos. Made in Plymouth, Oregon.
There you go.
Koodoos.
Kudu poster child right there.
They put in big holes. They fly perfect.
Archie Flores is asking, would it make a difference to trade in his Realm X to get a Realm SS? That's a tough question. It's a tougher question.
Yeah.
I'll let you give some feedback because you like both.
Have you shot animals with your Realm X yet? Because I get pretty partial when I got kills under my belt with the bow.
Yep.
So I didn't get nothing with my Realm X yet. Try it again Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. We get to go again up here.
But if I haven't got anything under my belt in a year on a bow, then let's try the new one.
You got to do it again. I would say, my opinion is, it depends what you like. If you like that little longer axle to axle, that little more stability, it does have a little more speed in the X. That's probably the bow for you. But if you're not super concerned with speed, but you want that crazy soft draw, SS is the way to go. And it's not slow. It's a 337
it's not
bow.
Slow, no.
Right? So it really goes back to what your preference is there.
I would just say try it and see what you think.
Derek Dombrowski, we got a lot of comparison questions, so this is good, and you probably can answer this pretty well. You shot a lot of these. Derek Dombrowski, how much of a difference between the Range 6 and the Realm SS? I'm thinking I see a trend in the Realm SS so far, as everybody's liking that
Range
SS.
6 is more faster.
Yes,
the draw cycle's a little bit stiff on it for me. I wasn't real partial to the draw cycle, and it's still not bad. But
right.
Realm X I like better.
Sure.
And so put this one in the same line with it, and I'm going to go with this one every time.
Absolutely, and it's an upgrade. I mean, it's we took the Range 6 and we won Outdoor Life and Field and Stream bow of the year. You know, editor best of the test awards with that bow. The Realm and the Realm X and the SS and the SR6 are an evolution of that bow. We took the best attributes of those two bows and built these bows as well. And now we have a broader range of in that whole series. So
there's a selection.
Fred Modaf is asking you a good question, Rod. How often should someone change a string, a Bowtech string, or a string in general? What are the advantages or disadvantages of changing to a private string maker? That is a phenomenal question because I know you run into this a lot.
I do. There are some manufacturers out there that can do it right.
Yep.
Okay, they go by our specifications on diameters.
And that's important.
That's the biggest thing. The diameters are very important because if you get oversized diameters, now you go over them hubs and it's pulling it farther, even though it's the same string length, same cable lengths, you're actually pulling it farther because you got a bigger diameter going around the hubs. So the other problem is with it that it tends to derail because it's not sitting in a groove.
Good point.
We have certain tolerances on. That's why we have tolerances, because it sits deep in the grooves.
Right.
And there are some manufacturers that are out there that can do exactly what our specifications are. So.
Right. Yep.
And they're good.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I know that's something, I know when I was working with you, and I'm sure you still do, I'm sure you see that a lot right out of the gate. You get the tuning issues, first thing you see is you get a huge string on there and cables, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yep. It's a good point. So those of you that are struggling with tuning issues, go back, and that's the first thing I asked when I was in the customer service department years and years ago was, did you just change your strings and cables? What have you just done to your bow? And usually that was, you know, I just got a new set of strings and cables, it doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
You know,
and it also has a tendency, if it's too big, it can roll off the hubs, and that gets really hairy when it does that.
That's a good point.
It's a dry fire at that point. So.
Got a good question coming from Instagram from GZinzer7. Realm owner here, great choice. Any maintenance tips for a bow other than waxing the string and changing it over time? Any other maintenance tips they should be looking for?
Yeah, you should check your mod screws and your power discs and all that. Periodically, put an Allen wrench on them, make sure everything's tight. I get a lot of bows back because the cam's making noise or something, so I'll get them back and bang on the riser.
Yeah.
Yep, it's got a loose mod screw.
Yep, that's a good point. Blue Loctite, right?
Blue Loctite.
Blue Loctite,
yeah.
Not red, not green,
no,
blue.
Don't put no red on there.
Here's a good question, and you probably know how to answer this one. I'm not sure of this one. Jared Turner is getting actually a good tech question here, getting a creaking or popping noise when they draw their brand new Realm X. Do you have any ideas as to the problem?
It's brand new?
Yep.
Well, actually we did make a new flex guard pivot, and it's probably that.
Okay, so you probably need to...
It's probably as simple as a flex guard pivot.
Probably a little play in there. So get into your dealer, have them take a look at that if they haven't. Give customer service a call. Might have a little play in that pivot, and maybe they can get you fixed up there. It sounds like they probably can. So. Yep,
it can be fixed.
Here's another comparison. A lot of people are doing a comparison now. So says Denny Smith, how was the draw cycle on the SS? Man, I'm still seeing that trend. SS compared to the Experience.
Night and day.
Yeah?
Night and day. You need to go in and try it. That's all I can say. Just if you go in there and try it, you'll be so impressed. It's ridiculous.
Right. Here's a good question here too on Instagram. We're getting some great ones coming in every direction. David Ray, 14. Is there a huge difference in the draw cycle on the SR6 between comfort and performance? Say comfort and non-comfort. That's why I say comfort. It's performance is still comfortable, so we'll say comfort and performance. He just shot it in comfort, and it was real smooth. So SR6. Let's talk about.
It's going to be more aggressive for sure.
Sure. And what's the difference? So what are you seeing if you in comfort? if you flip that disc over and put it in performance setting, what is it actually doing in your draw cycle as far as poundage and all that?
And the poundage is going to stay the same.
Right.
But it's pulling it over the hub, over that mod track in a different angle, so you're actually getting more throw off of it.
So you're holding the poundage a little longer in the draw cycle.
Yeah, so the draw cycle's a little bit tougher for sure, but you get more speed out of it. So.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's performance. It's meant to reach out, and if you want just a little flatter shooting, a little further distance potentially. And you know, I do, when I say, you know, reach out at a further distance, you know, it's your comfortable distance. I do get comments back, you know, well, that's not really ethical. Sometimes when you're extending your distance, what's what you're comfortable at, and that's what that bow does, because you may have a little bit, a little slower bow, and you want a little more punch. You want to close your pins a little bit, your pin gap. And that does make it more forgiving, and you can realistically take an ethical shot at a longer distance.
It helps your yardage guessing pretty much. I mean, if you got a slow bow and it's 40 to 45 yards, and 2 yards makes a difference.
Yep.
Where if you got a really fast bow, 2 yards means nothing.
Right. I mean, I shoot target stuff. I shoot redding. I've shot out to 101 yards in redding, you know, and put them in like that. You know, so that's a kill on an elk, but I would never do that. I'm a very good shot to 80. But for me, you know, I would shoot to 60. I mean, that's my comfortable zone. I mean, I would not do it on a regular basis, but I'm comfortable with these bows to shoot to 60 yards. I know I can make that shot.
Yeah. They still got enough punch to go through.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, that's a good question, Archie. Archie's got some great ones. He's testing you out, Rod.
Right.
Archie Flores is asking, because of the bows, the faster bows that are offered, is it recommended to change the string more often?
No.
That's a good point. That's a good question.
Probably not. I mean, they're going to last just as long. I mean, the string on this one's going to last just as long as this one, as long as you take care of them exactly the same. So, and if you take care of your stuff, keep it in time, keep your... big thing is keep your cam angles correct.
It's a good point. Let's talk about that a little bit. I should have had you bring one of your lasers with you, but let's talk about that, because I still see to this day people trying to set up cams on a bow straight, which is great on a shoot-through system if you have that.
It's a big problem on our bows.
And I think it's on any bow out there. I mean, it's got to have something. So let's talk about that really quick. Why is that important?
Well, the reason it needs a little cam lean in there is because when it's drawn back, it's pulling it perfectly straight into the mod track.
That's a good point. That's what I tell everybody. I'm glad you said that.
So if you're not getting it straight into that mod track, you got a ridge on both sides of that mod. So, and I get them all the time.
Yep.
How come my cable serving's wearing out so fast? And then I'll send it in, let me look at it. So when they get it in here, the cam lean's been taken out straight. So,
yep. And that's one thing. I don't care, any bow manufacturer, if they use a flexible containment system like our Flex Guard. There's a lot of people that do this now after we released it. A lot of companies that do it. So whether they're a flexible cable containment system or if they're a cable rod, the cables pull to the side. And there is an angle there. So that's like Rod said, if you set that cam up straight, it's going to cause problems. Because a good example is, you know, let's say you set your cam up straight and you got your cables at an angle. As it rotates, it's going to force itself into that cable and make itself lean, but it's going to go back straight on the shot. So now you've got string whip. To where, like Rod talked about, we're preloading that lean so it feeds into the cable nice and even, top and bottom. So it's going straight, it's starting and stopping in the same spot every time. Eliminates that string whip side to side. So that is an advantage of the overdrive binary cam system. Now there's some hybrid type cam systems out there that have the split yoke on the top, but they don't on the bottom. So you can do that on the top, but now you can't adjust the bottom, right?
Yep.
So I mean that's one big advantage. Not only can you adjust your string left and right, you can fine tune that so your cams don't move. And that's bad. And that's whip. So those of you out there that are shooting a bow or shooting shooting a bow or shooting one of our Bowtech overdrive binary cam bows, and you've got that right tear that you can't get out, usually because you have your cam set up too straight.
Yep.
I don't know if you agree with that or
Oh,
not.
yeah.
I know that's what we run into. So and it's usually a right tear. It's just the way that whips it over.
And if you're shooting, you notice immediately that you're getting a wear mark on your cable. It's not
Yep.
set correctly.
That is correct.
And I get those in all day long, and they'll be separated so bad, and I automatically
Yep.
put my laser on it. Well, this doesn't have any cam lane. Bam, no cam lane.
Yep. Spot hog laser is the way to go.
Yep.
Rico Van Tonder is one of our pro staff shooters on Team Bowtech out of New Zealand. What's up, Rico? How you doing?
Red Stags.
Yep. He's a killer too. So he said contact Spot Hog. They make them. So those of you that are looking for those lasers, reach out to Spot Hog. They have them and they'll make them all day long. Another local company.
Harrisburg, Oregon.
Yep.
Yep.
Not 8 miles from about 12 miles from us, 8 miles from where I live. So, Randy Manson, if the flex guard is loose, how will that affect the way the bow shoots? That's a good question because there's a little misconception
The
on
tension on it, you mean?
Right. It
Okay,
sounds like
well,
should it be tightened down all the way? Or?
No, not all the way either. It depends on your fletch clearance, basically, and your cam lane. It affects your cam lane also if you relax your fletch.
Oh, man.
Don't scratch it.
Might have to warranty that bow. You knocked that up.
Oh, I might have to own it.
It's a good way of getting a bow rod. Just knock it off the table.
Yeah, can't sell that one. So yeah, if it's too loose, you're automatically losing tension on your cables, okay, which is infecting your cam lane.
Good point.
So we actually set these at the factory at a certain tolerance between the shelf and the flex guard head.
So you have a cool little gauge you slide on there for
Yeah,
clearance.
got a little gauge to do it. But basically, if your arrow rest is center shot and you're looking at everything, your cam lane's right, and you still got fletch clearance, you're good.
Okay. So a baseline setting. So let's say, and we don't recommend this, but let's say if somebody tore their bow down for strings and cables, or if they're a dealer, maybe we have, a lot of times we get dealers watching to see what kind of cool tips you can give them. But let's say they have the bow disassembled, and for some reason they take the flex guard off or replace it for any reason. What is a baseline setting? Because they don't have those gauges. I know you have the fletching clearance, but when they put it back in, what's a good baseline setting on that screw?
The way I do it is I can hold that bow up there and look straight down the center of the riser and take a quick glance on the head of that right there, and you should probably have at least 1/8 of an inch clearance on an eye shot. So this one right here is pretty good.
So any
About 1/8 of an
I mean, even if they, let's say the bow's not assembled yet, I mean, as far as a screw setting, can they turn it all the way in and back it out so many turns?
Oh yeah, you can do that. You can go ahead and put it all the way in, and if it's too much after you get the bow built, you can back it out.
You just adjust it out back.
I wouldn't go any farther than the outside of the surface of the riser.
That's a good point, because I think I've heard of some clicking before backing that all the way out like that.
Yeah, if you go too far, it'll start clicking, and then your screw's borderline of how many threads are left.
Right.
So.
Willie Ward, what's up, Willie? Are the cams the only difference in the realm? So I'm assuming you mean across the whole realm series, and the answer is no. Looks like we might have went dead on our Instagram, don't we? We might have lost him. Oh, there we go. We get a call on that or something? I had turned it off, maybe a message. So sorry about that, Instagram. Looks like we're running again. So no, they are not the same. So the Realm and the Realm X have different risers. The Realm SS and the SR6 have the same risers, but they're different from the Realm and the Realm X. So good question though. Jake Briggs, good question. Should I always add twists to the yokes, or is there a point where I should take some out of the other side? So that's a good point. So if you're just in your cam lane, should you put them all in and out of one side, or you should kind of do it equally?
You do it equally every time.
I'm assuming that's what you're asking, Jake.
And if you don't do these individually, when it's first put on, and you put too many twists in or wraps in, you'll get roping. So it'll pinch it together
Right.
and it looks like knots.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do these individually to start with, but if you're going to adjust your tuning on a paper tune.
Yeah, I think that's what, I'm assuming that's what he's asking.
If you are twisting this left side to get a left tear out, you have to twist this left side exactly the same.
Right.
Otherwise, you're gonna have cams that are offset.
Yep, you definitely want it equal. So is there any recommendation, let's say if you to move it, let's say you're putting a twist in on the left side, should you take one out on the right side or just leave it go?
Oh, for timing?
Well, yeah, even if, if you don't want to move anything.
Yeah, I'd let it go and see what it does.
Yeah.
Put it on a scale.
I usually
or drop
don't.
back.
I usually don't unless I'm making a lot of adjustment. I mean, if I'm going 2.5, 3 turns on my left side, I'm going to equal that on the right side because it can move your cam position. But
And you don't want to. You want to keep an eye on your timing marks too, because that's pretty important. So if you go too far on one end and not the other, then you're going to take it out of time. So
good point. Yep, that's what Jake's saying for tuning. So I think we nailed that. Andrew, oops, scroll down too far. Riku. Andrew Lusk. Explain the huge jump at break over during the draw cycle. So I don't know if you're looking at a specific bow.
yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I mean, what's happening there? I know there's a lot of bows out there.
At the end of the stroke, you mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of, I've seen a lot of bows, especially when you're looking in the speed bow category. A lot of competitors have that jump.
Because it's building all that energy up all the way to the very end. Now you're sitting there, and that's a good way to dry fire. Most of them that get dry fired have that solid hump in the back.
Yeah, and that's one thing you'll see, what we call a draw force curve. All those that are tech heads know what it is. Rod and I know it there. We deal with them all the time. But when you basically draw the bow, you build peak poundage, and sometimes on your draw force curve, there's a little blip in there, right at the breakover point. That might be that little blip you're finding in some bows. You usually see it on a high-performance bow. That's where the SR6 really dominates that because you don't have that blip in it,
It just, I know what he's talking
about. It's the hump. We always say, it's got a little, when we're testing bows and competitors' bows, a lot of times, we draw it, it's got a little hump in it.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about at that point, so.
And if people draw it back with their fingers for the first time, that's where you see dry fires.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because they'll jerk it right out of your fingers.
Right. So he's talking about the SR6. So I'm not sure what draw length you're shooting it at. Traditionally, at the longer draw lengths is where you're going to potentially see it in a bow. Potentially, you might be, I'm assuming maybe you're at 30 or 30 and a half, maybe the max draw length there. So really with any bow, at the max draw length is generally where you're going to get more of a little bit of a hump at the end. So, man, we're getting questions about a new target bow in the near future. Man, I don't want to get fired. I know you don't want to get fired. So we are sworn to secrecy on anything new we are going to have come out.
We're always working on something.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
So yeah, once we even when we launch a bow, we're already working on other bows for 2 years to come at least. So, but I can't let anything out of the bag, yes or no or anything. So. Let's see what we got. 29 inches. So yeah, Andrew Lusk is shooting his at 29 inches. So you might feel a little bit more at the longer draw lengths, 29, 30, 31. It definitely, you feel a different draw cycle as you get down into the other draw lengths, especially on a higher performance bow like that as well.
Pays to be short.
It does. There is an advantage. We lack in speed, but sometimes we make up for it in some of the.
I got a rangefinder.
Say, Willie Moore, what are you guys going to do? You're about to perfect a compound bow. I think this is about as perfect as it gets.
So far,
yeah,
I'm thinking so.
Our engineers are they're keeping busy. I mean, they're some smart guys, and I think every year I don't know what they're going to do to outdo themselves, and they always do it.
It's impressive, isn't it?
It is. It is.
You got the Realm X. You think that's the best thing that you've ever seen?
Well,
and they beat it again.
Got a lot of Realm X owners in here, a lot of Realm owners in here, so it's great to see. Oh, thanks, Jake. He's shout out to you guys for having the most user tunable and serviceable service. I can't speak today.
Serviceable?
Right? Serviceable. You know, another cup of coffee, I think. Maybe less coffee. Yeah. Serviceable out there. A lot of shops don't give it the time, and an owner would, so it's appreciated. That's awesome. That's a good point, Jake. Thank you. Kirk Lucky, another good comment. It's hard to believe the draw cycle of the SR6 is a speed bow. Great work. Going from my Railmex to the SR6. Cannot wait for the new target model. I don't know why these people keep thinking there's a new target model. I don't know.
Well, this is like Purdy.
Yeah, right? Give me a target bow. Yep. Keep up the good work from Absolute Archery Center and Range in Perryville, Missouri. Well, thanks for the shout out there. So, well, you know, we've had a lot of great feedback, a lot of good questions. I know you got to get it back to work back there a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
love to go to work.
I know you love your job, Rod. You've been here forever. I know you'll probably be here forever, right? I don't think they'll let you leave.
I don't know. It's debatable.
I think they're going to chain you to the bench. I don't think it's allowed.
As long as my bench is in my living room, I don't care.
So, wife ready for you to retire yet?
No.
No. She probably doesn't want you to retire.
No, she don't want me to hang around that much time.
I'm sure she would enjoy it. Well, brother, I appreciate you joining us again today.
It's been fun.
Gonna have to do it again next week. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
I just like to tell everybody to get out there, and there's 4 rail model bows. Just get out there, go to your shop, and try every one of them. Even if you own one already.
Yeah.
Try the new one.
Get 2. Buy 2.
Yeah.
You got to have one of each. So I'm going to test you today, Rod.
Yeah.
So we do all this cool content, guys. We do Tech Talk with Dogg. We have the Outdoor Chef. We have Nate Zielinski, who's out in the field right now with our Director of Marketing doing some hunting. We're going to give you, we always give you the opportunity to know when we're going to go live. So super easy. You text the word "go live." What's the number, Rod?
Couldn't tell you.
I'm going to test you. We actually have a new number. So those of you that have been texting, I was trying to, those of you that have texted the old number, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to confuse you. The number now is text the word "go live" to 64600. You remember that?
Yeah,
64.
That's easier.
Much better. 64600. So again, we're going to give you opportunities to view all this cool live content that we come out with, but also those of you that did not get the opportunity or did not jump on it, we did an exclusive launch of these 2 new flagship bows an hour earlier than the public launch. So they were able to see it a lot earlier than others. So by texting this number, we get your contact in there. So what we'll do is we'll shoot you out an email, give you an opportunity to sign up. We'll send you a link for those exclusive launches like that. If not, you're going to have to see these cool things with our general public. Also, once we have your name there, we'll be able to reach out to you and tell you about all these cool sweeps we have going. We gave away 2 bows during our live launch. We did a second chance sweepstakes for another SS or SR6 after the launch. And right now, all of our ambassadors, so Eva Shockey, Jim Shockey, Heartland Bowhunter guys, Mike Hunsaker and Sean Lichtel are doing it. Actually, Katie Van Slyke is one of our ambassadors out there. She's doing a sweepstakes out there. Randy Newberg is doing a sweeps out there. Mike Stroff is doing a They as soon as we gave away a bow, they said we want to give away his bow as well. So I know Eva Shockey, she's coming up on 500,000 followers on Instagram. I think she's going to be giving away another bow for that. So I'm going to let her announce that if she's going to do that. I know Katie Van Slyke, and I don't know if you know Katie or not, but I think she just hit 300,000 followers. So it's a great opportunity for you. So make sure you guys get in there, hit their Instagram pages. It's another opportunity to enter to win one of the brand new flagship bows. What's better than a free bow? Yeah. You know?
I don't know.
I know. Make sure you guys text the word "go live" to 64600 so you can get in all the fun we have. Thanks, Rod. Yeah. Until next time, guys, have fun and shoot straight.